Hello, Mr. Fry's Algebra 1 class. I'm looking at Unit 8, Homework 1, Introduction to Quadratics. And you have the standard form of a quadratic equation being y equals, that's an a in there, sorry it's so ugly, but ax squared plus bx plus c. And the curve formed by a quadratic equation is called the parabola, that's P-A-R-A-B-O-L-A. And the formula for the axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. And we just take those numbers from here. This would be our b, and we just make it negative. So if it's a minus bx, it would become positive because negative and then negative become positive. But if it's positive, you make it negative. Over 2 times a, whatever that value is in front of the x squared. All right, if the vertex is the highest point on the graph, it's called a maximum. And if the vertex is the lowest point on a graph, it's called the minimum. So here we go. Taking a look at this, I'm going to identify my A, B, and C. My A is 1, my B is 6, my C is 4. Then I use this formula from up here. Negative B over 2 times A. So negative 6 over 2 times 1. Negative 6 divided by 2 is going to be negative 3. That is my axis of symmetry where x equals negative 3. That's going to be this right here, x equals negative 3. Okay, and my little sketch, he just wants you to get it going in the right direction. It's going to be a smiley face kind of thing because it is a positive squared value here. My leading coefficient is positive. It's a positive 1, even though you don't see anything there. And so it's going to be a smiley face. Think positive, think smile, okay? Like in your notes. I'm going to plug that value in for x, and I'm just going to work it out on a regular calculator the way you see it. Make sure you put in parentheses this one. You have to put in parentheses the negative in order for it to square the negative also. You end up with negative 5 being the y value when x is negative 3. So that's going to be your vertex, negative 3, negative 5. And then you put that point there. That's going to be the minimum. Try 7 on your own. Number 8. I identify my A, my B, and my C. There is no C. Here I made some mistakes. I don't know why I was interrupted and I put in the wrong number here. So a negative 2 is going to be a positive 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And so I plug in those 1s and I end up getting a negative 1 for my, I'm sorry, it should be a positive 1. It's a positive 1. Positive 1 for my axis of symmetry, so x equals a positive 1. And so when I plug in that positive 1, oh, I'm sorry, it is a negative 1, because that was a negative 1. Geez, oh man, this one is really giving me some buggers. Okay, so this is a negative 1. Yes, when you plug in into your calculator, and let me show you on your calculator how you would plug that in. You just, in parentheses, 1 minus the 2 times the 1. Let me go back before I make another mistake and square that. Minus 2, 1, and then I hit equals, and I got negative 1. Okay, so that's my y value. This is my x, this is my y, this is my x, this is my y. So my axis of symmetry was that 1, that first one. And then my vertex is this 1, and I might as well be consistent and make my 1s look like that for just this problem. Okay, so that's number 8. Try number 9 on your own. Number 10, and if you want to check yourself, you could go to Desmos to check yourself, like I checked my last one just to make sure, because I'm doing this kind of rushed as I'm doing some other things, and I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, you could plug that in, and then, use this keypad down here to plug in your problem. And then you could, come down here and see what your vertex should be. That's the last one that I'm doing for you guys. That's number 14 that you see on there. But you could plug any of these in. You don't have to put the y equals. If you put the y equals, you'll get the same answer, but you don't have to put the y equals in. So, but doing it this way by hand, A, B, and C. My A is -5, my B is -20, and my C is -26. So I have negative b over 2a, which is going to be 20 because a negative makes it positive. So I have 20 over 2 times a negative 5 because that's my a. So it becomes 20 divided by negative 10, which equals negative 2. That's my axis of symmetry, x equals negative 2. This is x equals negative 2, this dotted line here. And then the vertex ends up being negative 6 because when I plug in negative 2 into the problem and just work the problem out, I get negative 6. So negative 2, negative 6. That's my x and y coordinate. This is a maximum. It's a frown face because this is a negative coefficient, leading coefficient. This is a negative, so it's going to be a frown. You could tell already because it's a negative leading coefficient. My a is negative 1 then, my b is 2, and my c is negative 4. My negative b over 2a ends up being negative 2 over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2 over negative 2, or 1. So my axis of symmetry is 1. I made a mistake there too. So I just put a 1 there. Plug in that 1. This one, you don't want your negative on the inside because what the x value is, you just put the x value in the parentheses. The x value isn't negative 1, it's just 1. So I just put that x value, and I have this on the outside. If not, you'll get the wrong answer. So you have your negative from this. Then in parentheses, you have your x, okay? So only the x values go in the parenthesis, okay? And then you work it out and you get negative 3 as your y value, and that gives you your vertex of 1, negative 3. And the last one I'm going to do with you here is number 14. You pick out your a, you pick out your b, negative 12, and you pick out your c is 10. And I use the vertex formula to figure out that my vertex is a, or x is 3, so x equals 3. That's what this line is, x equals 3. That undefined line, that vertical line. I plug in 3 wherever I see x, and I just work out the problem to get negative 8. This is this problem with the x value substituted in. The x value, which is the axis of symmetry. That's why it's going to give me the vertex, okay? And I get negative 8. And once again, you can plug it into Desmos to see if you're correct. And so my vertex is 3, negative 8. It's going to be smiling because the leading coefficient is a positive. And once again, your x-axis of symmetry is x equals 3. All right, good luck on those odd ones. If I could, help you out with 15, your A is going to be 1, your B is going to be 10, and your C is going to be 24 to get you started. This one, you might be wondering, what is my A? My A is negative 3. B, don't have one. C, don't have one. 11, A is 1. B, nothing. C is negative 4. Number 9, A is negative 1. B is negative 8. C is negative 9. And this one, A is negative 2. B is 8. And C is negative 5. Okay, hopefully this is helpful to you, and good luck with those ones that you're doing on your own.